I'm gonna tear down a black man. Look at it. He's nothing given. You've never seen 50 give nobody no flowers, no respect. He just play on people downfall. Diddy, Irv Gotti, Ja Rule. Yeah. Now Big Meech. You've never seen 50 say nothing positive.
Oh, it's getting wild out here in these streets. The beef between 50 Cent and Big Meech just exploded into a whole new dimension. And y'all, Big Meech is out here clowning 50 Cent like he's got nothing left in the bank. Yup, you heard that right. Meech is straight up saying 50's going broke, and it's all because of this messy back and forth that's spiraling out of control.
Making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? 50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up.
Now hold up. Rick Ross decided to pour gasoline on the fire and light a whole match. Word is, Ross spilled the hottest tea on the block. He's saying 50 is struggling to even fund his new G-Unit studio. But wait for it. He went as far as claiming 50's credit is so busted he can't even get a loan. And baby, that's not even the peak of the disrespect.
50 Cent says that 1090 Jake found paperwork that proves Big Meech allegedly snitched. 50 Cent posted, Tammy Cohen, the truth and nothing but the truth coming soon. 1090 Jake tomorrow. Got that paperwork. You know the vibe.
Because Ross hit below the belt with a savage threat. He said if 50 didn't shut his mouth, he'd snatch his masters. Yeah, Rick Ross really came for the throat. But let's be real, this is 50 Cent we're talking about. You know he wasn't just going to sit there and eat that.
But look, 50. Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? 50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up. I will buy your masters. But look, 50. Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? I know you want to make your mama one of them walking stars thing put down there. Your mama live, nigga, call her own walking star. We call it renderings. You had the renderings, then you try to go get them loans, and ain't nobody loan you that money. You ain't even built the G-Unit studio yet. That might be why when I stood next to Meech, your knees buckled. Your knees buckled. Put your back against the wall. You're hustling.
50 came back swinging like the petty king he is. He promised to drop receipts, yes, receipts, and expose who's really broken this saga. He's not here for the jokes, but fans? Whew, fans are confused. Folks are out here wondering, is 50 Cent really losing that billionaire status? Or is Ross just being the master troll he's always been, trying to get in 50's head? Meanwhile, Meech and Ross? They're grinning from ear to ear, thinking they humbled the king of clapbacks.
Meech ain't like his response. It seemed like he got a genuine kind of love for 50 on his response. But, you know, my response, but nigga, f*** you. Nigga, that's my daddy, nigga, f*** you, nigga. Let's go to war.
Yeah, you made my son $5 million. How much you made, though? So you gonna stop, yeah, you made, yeah. You ain't just, yeah, come on.
My dad looked out for a lot of people, and 50 ain't do half, like, 50 literally looked out for my dad more than the people that my dad gave millions to.
Some are even claiming that 50 Cent can't keep the lights on at his own studio. They're saying he's gonna be crawling back for mercy once the money dries up. But let's be serious here. This man was sitting at the billionaire table not long ago. Billionaires don't just go bankrupt because of beef over who snitched. So what is this really about? Smoke and mirrors? Or a real fall from the top?
50 Cent says he gave the BMF family $5 million legal dollars. So he does not understand where the money went, how Little Meech blew it before Big Meech got out of jail, but he feels extremely betrayed after that picture got taken between Big Meech and Rick Ross after he got out of jail.
I looked at it like, from that point, maybe 50 should have brung a bag for Meech and maybe a watch or something, because obviously that's what Ross did or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But That's what I had in mind.
And if you've been following this beef, then you already know Rick Ross has been all up in the mix. It all exploded when Big Meech joined forces with Ross for a massive welcome home concert. That event was supposed to make them bags, but boom, out of nowhere, it got canceled. No warning, no real explanation. Immediately, people started pointing fingers at 50 Cent. You know the streets don't play. The theory? 50 pulled some strings to block Meech from getting paid, all because he linked up with Ross, 50's arch nemesis. Of course, 50 denied it, but the whispers didn't stop. And Ross? He went on full blast calling 50 a hurt hoe who's just salty Meech, and Ross were making power moves without him. And let's not pretend, 50's never been quiet about his disdain for Meech teaming with Ross. He's thrown jabs from day one. He even called Meech a rat and insisted that Ross will always be Officer Ricky in his book. To 50, anyone aligned with Ross is instantly suspect. Period. But honey, this didn't stay in the realm of petty insults. It got real. 50 Cent claimed to have receipts proving Meech snitched to get time shaved off his sentence. And just when people thought this couldn't get any more toxic, 50 dropped a bomb. He's working on a tell-all documentary featuring none other than Tammy Cowens. Now that changes everything. Tammy ain't just some random person. Word is, her connection with Meech runs deep. She's the one Meech trusted with the rights to his life story, books, films, documentaries. Tammy holds all the power. That's exactly why she originally teamed up with 50 to create the BMF series. But once Meech cozied up to Ross, 50 felt the betrayal and pulled the plug on the whole show. And let's talk irony. Lil Meech, Big Meech's own son, was playing the lead role in that series. 50 was paying him a whole $5 million for it. But instead of saving, investing, or helping his dad, Lil Meech went wild. Exotic cars, iced out chains, designer drip, and now, nada. Burned through it all like there was no tomorrow. Meanwhile, Big Meech is still locked up, broke, and counting down the days. You'd think Lil Meech would stack some coins to help him out, but nope. Tony Yayo even had to step in and drag him for burning through millions like it was Monopoly money. When 50 started going in hard on Big Meech, Lil Meech tried to play peacemaker, sliding into 50's DMs, pleading for understanding. He wrote, "I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only showed you love and loyalty. Ross just gave my dad some bread to pay bills." Sounds heartfelt, right? But 50? Oh, he was ice cold. He posted the DM with the caption, "What next season?" Boom! Just like that, 50 ended the BMF series. No second chances, no warning, cold as ice. Then came the real nuke. 50 revealed he's teaming up with Tammy Cowens for a new documentary, one that's about to expose everything. He even referred to Big Meech as Big Screech, a petty dig that hit hard. Now, with no more BMF checks, Lil Meech and Big Meech are out here with empty plates. And remember, Lil Meech already burned through his last $5 mil like it was pocket change. No fallback, no hustle, no nothing. As for Big Meech, after all those years locked up, what kind of gig can he really land now? Their only shot at holding on to that flashy lifestyle is if Lil Meech somehow makes a miracle comeback. But after this fallout with 50, that's looking real bleak. And you already know Ross had to pop back up. Rick Ross, aka BMF Ross, clapped back, claiming he's about to drop his own BMF series and blow 50's entire G-Unit studio out the water. Bold talk, right? But there's just one teeny little problem. 50 Cent owns the rights to the BMF franchise. Sources told TMZ Ross can't legally touch any BMF project without 50's permission. And let's be clear, 50 is never giving that green light. Not in this lifetime, not in the next. But that didn't stop Meech and Lil Meech from flipping sides fast. Once 50 pulled the plug, loyalty went out the window. Lil Meech started hanging with 50's enemies like it was all a game. Club photos with Rick Ross, posted. Captions full of shade, delivered. And then they turned the heat all the way up. And then came the real disrespect. Big Meech and Lil Meech linked up with Floyd Mayweather. Oh yeah, another name right at the top of 50 Cent's enemies list. Lil Meech didn't just take a pic, he dropped it online with the caption, "Real Power." Oop, a direct jab at 50's hit show Power. That wasn't just shade, that was a whole thunderstorm, and just to twist the knife deeper, he followed it up with another flick and a shush emoji, like he and Floyd were cooking up some big secret plan. Baby, the message was loud and clear. Lil Meech was riding with his dad and coming for 50. But wait, isn't this the same dude who was just crying in 50's DMs, begging for understanding? Chill, eh? This is what happens when the clout bug bites. Too many voices in your ear, too many fake smiles. Big Meech and Lil Meech forgot who really held them down. It was 50 Cent who kept their name alive while Meech was locked up. 50 was the one who invested, put Lil Meech on, cleaned him up, gave him a career, and tried to keep him from crashing out in these streets. But the second Big Meech got out, that loyalty went right out the window. Even Boozy had something to say. He called it out fast. He said if he were Lil Meech, there wouldn't be no confusion. He'd ride for his pops no matter what. But Boozy also knew 50 had a right to feel betrayed. And trust, 50 finally spoke up. And when he did, he let it rip. He said, "I did more for Meech than anyone in his life." When Meech got locked up, guess who he called first? 50 Cent, and 50 says he bailed him out every time. But now, Meech is laughing at posts that diss 50. That was the last straw. 50 said, he a snake too. He belong with them, and that right there, that was raw emotion. 50 wasn't just talking business, he was talking real life. He acted like a father figure to Lil Meech, sent him to acting school, kept him away from the street life, made sure his pockets were full. But according to 50, everything changed the moment Big Meech came home. All of a sudden, Lil Meech stopped listening. 50 said he was telling him to save money, to chill on the spending. And what was Big Meech doing? Hyping it all up, talking about how much money he used to blow. 50 said, "I think he was uncomfortable with me and Meech's bond." Whew! And it gets even messier. 50 revealed he had to send Lil Meech to rehab. Yup, actor Russell Hornsby even witnessed it firsthand. Lil Meech showed up to set high as a kite and ended up throwing up during a weapons test. This wasn't about a TV show anymore. This was real life crashing down. Then 50 got hit with another shocker. Someone told him Big Meech had whippets stashed in his truck. 50 was like, "What the hell is a whippet?" He Googled it, and boom, it's that nitrous oxide junk people use to get high. Total mess. After everything 50 had done for that family, now they're turning around, clowning him like he's the bad guy. And right on cue, Rick Ross jumped back into his petty bag. Ross started trolling hard, clowning 50 and claiming he's so broke he can't even finish building the G-Unit studio. Said his credit is so shot, banks won't even return his calls. Then came the ultimate disrespect. Ross looked straight in the camera and said he might just buy 50's masters just so 50 can finally have a few dollars in his pockets. Oh no, he didn't. 50 was furious. You already know. He started talking about dropping receipts, letting the world know who's really broke. And in classic 50 fashion, he brushed off the idea that Big Meech could ever mess with his bag. Y'all think this beef touches my pockets? Please. Let's be real. How much weight does Meech really carry these days? Sure, back in the day he was a legend. But it's 2025 now. The economy's in the gutter, Diddy's locked up, people can't pay rent, and Meech is out here chasing faded glory. The spotlight is dim and nobody's checking for washed up street legends right now. But just when you thought 50 was gonna let it slide, nope. He flipped the script. Again. He jumped on Instagram and started teasing his next power play, and baby, it's a whole true crime docu-series. He said, "Y'all love stories, right? Cool. I got one for every snake that bit the hand that fed him." Whew, that was ice cold. Insiders say he's already got episodes lined up, with interviews, receipts, paper trails, exclusive footage, all of it. He's coming for Meech, Ross, and even a few unexpected names from the rap world. This man's not just burning bridges, he's building whole studios with the ashes. Meanwhile, Lil Meech has gone ghost. No acting gigs, no music, no nothing. His social media is dry. Fans are torn. Some think he's trying to lay low, ride out the storm. Others think he's just waiting on Ross to save him. But Ross? Too busy clowning 50 to throw any real lifeline. And Big Meech? Sources say he's livid behind closed doors. He never expected 50 to turn on him like this. And now with this new docu-series in the works, there's real fear that some serious skeletons are about to come flying out the closet. The power dynamic has shifted. 50 used to be the guy handing out blessings. Now, he's the final boss. One move away from ending careers and rewriting legacies. It's giving Game of Thrones, and 50 is definitely the one holding the sword. Remember when 50 clowned Big Meech by calling him a wannabe Pablo Escobar? That wasn't a joke. It was a warning. Like, really? People think Meech has that much power? That his little Instagram post could hurt 50 Cent's empire? Please, 50's beefed with major labels, superstar celebs, billionaires, and still walked away richer every time. And of course, being the master troll he is, 50 turned this whole saga into comedy, posting memes, laughing at the broke rumors, dropping slick shots on Twitter like it's just another Tuesday. But people are still asking the big question, is 50 actually going broke? Or is Rick Ross just projecting, trying to distract from his empty pockets? Drop your take in the comments below because this saga is still unfolding, and trust me, this story, it's got more twists than a telenovela, so don't even blink. The next move might just break the internet.